Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Inside the Den presented by Serra Ford Rochester Hills. I'm Patty Cesarini and today I'm sitting alongside one of our softball team members, Reese Ruhlman. Reese, thanks so much for sitting here with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you are a sixth year. You spent a lot of time at Oakland. What has kept you around for so long?
Honestly, just like at the academic standpoint and having an extra year from COVID. I had a couple of COVID years since I've transferred here, so that was a big aspect of getting a couple extra years, which was just a great opportunity for me academically and just to continue the sport I like to play. So it was just a unfortunate situation with COVID, but grateful that I get to continue playing and continue my education.
And the academic component of things, you want to be a physical therapist.
I do,
and right
yes.
now you are in your doctorate program. Give me a little inside scoop. What does that whole thing look like for you right now?
Yeah, so it's basically a 3.5-year program. So right now I'm in the second semester of my first year. So once I'm done playing, I'll just continue with my education there, and then there's like clinicals involved, so lots of fun stuff ahead academically for sure. Yeah.
And the clinicals are more like that hands-on experience type of stuff. So
Exactly.
when will you be starting those?
It'll be this coming fall.
Oh, nice.
Yep, so
okay.
We'll get a little dip in the clinical aspect and then finish up the academic year with classes, and then we'll get on to more clinicals as it gets into like the third year.
Sure.
Yeah.
And what exactly do they have you doing in those clinicals? What are some of those hands-on experiences?
Yeah, so we'll be in a few different types of clinics. So it'd be like inpatient, outpatient. So it depends where they kind of put us there. And then we'll basically be under an actual physical therapist that's practicing.
That's cool.
So they'll kind of be like, in a way, like our mentors on to like different ways to handle different situations, work with patients, hands-on, like with their exercises. So it's basically just a real life experience on what a physical therapist does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's multiple different avenues that you could pursue within physical therapy, correct?
Oh yeah, you could do like outpatient. There's neuro PTs, sports PTs, pediatrics. There's so many different aspects, which is really why I love physical therapy. Is like you can be any type of environment.
Do you know which one that you want to go into yet?
I'm not really sure. I'm interested in like sports PT. Clearly,
Shocker.
I was hoping. And then so sports PT, a little bit of the neuro side, but really just like an outpatient clinic, because that's where you really see like the bulk of different patients, like from your older population to your younger population, even just mixed in with a few sports athletes as well. Yeah.
And how did you know that this is what you wanted to do with the rest of your life?
Yeah, well, I actually started off coming in my freshman year as wanting to do PA.
Okay.
And then I quickly switched that and went to nursing. So
You've bounced around a little
bounced
bit
around,
within
so-
the medical field, though.
yeah, all medical field. Coming into college, I knew I wanted to do something medical field. But then after getting more exposed to the nursing aspect, I figured out quickly it was not for me. So then I really dug deep and just figured out like what is it I really want to do and how do I actually want to help people. And so I found physical therapy. I'm like, wait, like yeah, that's awesome. Like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I thought about it once before too, because I feel like with maybe athletic training or being a physical therapist, it's common within the athletes world because you spend so much time around it and stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes a lot of people are like, well, I've dealt with a lot of injuries, so that has really inspired me to be, a physical therapist.
Right.
Has that something that maybe crossed your mind or also played into it a little bit or no?
I mean, a little bit. Like, I haven't, knock on wood, haven't really had too many injuries where I've needed to go to physical therapy. But, so that's not like a big thing for me, but like really just exposing myself and like, as like a technician, I've like exposed myself with a job through there. So that was kind of big for me just to like get the day-to-day life of what a physical therapist is. But on the injury aspect, yes, a little bit, but more just exposing myself to
you
the
just like
profession.
it was just enjoyable for you to learn about too.
Exactly.
And that's a lot of schooling, and it is rigorous, schooling. How do you balance softball with taking classes and then moving into clinicals too?
Yeah, I always love to say that I love my Google Calendar because my whole life is in there.
Yes.
So I have it all laid out in different colors, and so that's kind of how I keep my day-to-day and like what I have to do next. I also love like for schooling wise, like I have to write down everything like I have to do for that week, that day. So really just staying organized is like my way to success.
Right.
So that was been huge for me, and just like coming from undergrad, having some pretty tough classes in undergrad too, that really helped prepare me for the more difficult classes in PT school.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this is your last season playing softball here. Congratulations. Definitely a happy,
Thank
sad
you.
moment, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's probably going to feel a little nice too moving into next year with, you know, being in school still. You're really just going to have to focus on that.
Yeah, and after this year, the academics kind of pick up as well.
Oh,
and
gosh,
so
yeah.
basically we have class from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, so I'm glad that like the schedules with school and softball really have worked out for me and in my favor. I do have to miss like a few softball things, but in the long run, I think like the schedules worked out really well.
Yeah, it sounds like it, that's
Yeah.
for sure. And what is the job search? I know this might be a little bit a ways out there, you know, but what does the whole job search look like? Is it common for people that are going through their clinicals to stay kind of where they're at with their clinicals and, you know, make those connections, and then you get hired as, you get hired on full time?
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's very common that like
That's nice.
where you're clinically placed, like people usually get jobs through there. But I've also heard like them not doing that. So it kind of just depends like where you're placed, who you vibe with essentially, what kind of like setting you like to be in.
Sure.
So it really just depends, but I definitely have heard a lot of people staying where they're placed
Nice,
clinically, yeah.
It probably it eases your mind a little bit, you know, knowing that's a difficult field to get into. But the nice thing too, it's like they always say about nurses, doctors, physical therapists, you'll never run out of those. Like you'll always need more, which is awesome, you know? So the last question that I have for you though is what excites you the most about this future being a physical therapist?
Yeah, really, I just want to help people heal. Like that's like my main, like my whole process of wanting to become a physical therapist is to help people heal. But I just love like the hands-on experience that you get to experience with your patient, with the manual, but then also see how they move. I think it's very interesting to like, now that I'm more into like evaluating and like people and seeing that, like just now I'm like, I'll see like a person walking and be like, oh, like they might have something wrong there.
Yeah,
like,
you can't escape it,
so
right?
It's like consuming my life, but like,
but in a good way.
but in a very good way. Like, I think it's awesome, and just helping people, you know, get back to their normal lives is really what I enjoy about it. Yeah.
Oh, well, congratulations, Reese. I'm so excited for your future moving forward. I know you still got a couple more years left of school and whatnot, but thank you so much for sitting down with me today and explaining your journey of, you know, coming in and going in as PA to a nurse to now physical therapy and how you were able to balance the academic life with also the athletics. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And that's it for this episode of Inside the Den, presented by Serra Rochester Hills, and we will see you next time.